Hey, what is going on, Scatterbrains? Thank you for coming back to another review or episode of Scattered Brilliancy. My name is Travis. I almost forgot my name. So we are here for Married at First Sight Season 13, Episode 4. But before we get into that, if you saw my video yesterday, then you saw that today, August 12th, beginning at 7 a.m. this morning, Donors Choose is doing 50% matches for anybody who makes a donation, to a teacher's project. If you don't know what Donors Choose is, very quickly, it's like GoFundMe for teachers. Teachers come up with projects that they want to do for their students. They post them on there and you can donate money to help the teacher complete the project. I have a project on there for my students. The link is down in the description if you would like to donate. Today is a great day to donate because, like I said, they're doing a 50% match. For example, if you only give $1, they're going to add 50 cents to it. So whatever you donate, they add 50% of that. But they're only doing it for today. So if you donate any other day after this, it'll just be whatever it is that you're giving. So if you find it in your heart to want to donate to my classroom, I would greatly appreciate it. Again, the link will be down in the description. So let's go ahead and get into this episode. This episode was mostly about the next morning, meeting up with the spouses, friends, and family, and then getting the honeymoon started. Not a whole lot happened, but a lot of funny stuff I feel like happened, so I feel like we're gonna have a good time talking about it today. I guess we can kind of go in order. We'll go in the order of my notes. So just so you know, these are the kind of notes I take. Everybody has their own section, and I kind of just take notes as the episode goes. And I have to always go back and forth trying to figure out, who is where. I take them on my phone and then, send it to my iPad. So we'll just stay in order of my, how the order of the couples that I have. Goodness. All right, so we're going to start with Girla. It was kind of sad, but it was also kind of touching to see them discuss their fathers. Both of their fathers died in very tragic ways. So it was, the circumstances are unfortunate, but it was nice to be able to see them bond over what happened to their fathers. So for her father was killed in 2015, and later in the episode she gave the details about it. And we're not going to go through all of that because it's just not necessary. And then for him, his father was murdered when he was 14, which was 21 years ago as of when this was filmed, which I guess was maybe earlier this year. But it was good that they had that connection, so they were able to start bonding. He offers a foot rub, but she said, you ain't touching my feet. You ain't about to see my corns and bunions tonight. So as far as who they met up with the next morning, he met up with her brother and her friends. And I was a little confused because we had saw the brother, but throughout the beginning few episodes, we mostly saw women. So I was trying to figure out, well, who are these randos that he's meeting with, and why are you talking to them? Is my mic plugged in? Let me make sure my mic, okay, it's plugged in. So I was confused about why he was meeting with all these guys, but every couple, kind of asked whoever what they were meeting with, what should I be aware of? Any advice? Yada, yada, yada. It's the same format for everybody. So if I end up skipping over stuff, it's just because it wasn't important or it slipped my mind. But he asked, we're talking about Girla. Hope I said that. He asked about red flags, and they said finance. Of course, we know that's going to be a big topic when it comes to Girla because of the lifestyle that she has. She wants to maintain her lifestyle. So we're going to talk a lot about finances, okay? But she's made it very clear that, she's not changing her lifestyle. But they tell him not to worry about it. That shouldn't be something he's really concerned about. And Gil lets them know that he's into, he likes constructive criticism. And her brother was reading from his script again. And this is what was in his script on page 19, where it says Gil sits with friends. He said, if you're true to that, then you're never gonna have to worry about my bad side. And I was watching it like, Juan, what are you talking about? Nobody believes you have a bad side. We don't believe anything that you're saying. I don't know why the producers told you to say that line, but we don't believe you, okay? Because, if we just being honest, Gil is like, and Juan is like, trying to make myself look thin. So, I mean, I don't really think Gil is worried about Juan. You know what I mean? Juan also talked about, he also talked about the fact that he is not in control of her finances, but he has access to see all her finances. So that was another reason why Gil shouldn't worry about it. For Gil, he met with her friend. No, wait, that was Gil. Mirla met with Gil's friends, 2 women. Don't remember if we ever saw them again. I mean, saw them before this, but they told her that he's a WYSIWYG kind of guy. When I was in high school, I went to a technology high school and I took my computer classes. They taught us about WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. So Gil is real WYSIWYG like, okay? But you know, Mirla reminds us that she's moody. You don't have to remind us. Boo, we see it on the camera. I think everybody can see that you're moody. But they tell her that he's emotionally loud, and I wasn't really sure what that meant, but they say he's very passionate. So I guess when, you know, he gets excited, it's like this. I guess that's what they mean by he's emotionally loud. But he's tidy. I wrote down baby. They asked about babies and stuff, but y'all know Mirla ain't busting nothing open for nobody right now. So after breakfast, Girla talk about the financial stuff, and you know that is going to be, like I said, a huge talking point this season. But he is not driven by money. She is. I mean, it's understandable for her. I think it's common for people who were raised in, I don't want to say she was raised in poverty, but raised in a financial situation that she did not want to continue for the rest of her life. She felt like, okay, now that I'm older, I want to have more than what I had when I was growing up. And I think for a lot of people, that's how you feel. You know, for me as a parent, I want to give my children more than what I had. So I don't fault her for that. But you know, there has to be some like realism when it comes to finances and having a partner now, and how that's really going to look now that it's not just you. But next, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through the whole episode for them. The couples fly to the Florida Keys. That's where the honeymoon is. And the place that they're staying at is nighttime when they get there. So for me, if I was planning a trip to the Florida Keys, the way this particular place looked would not have been a place that I would have picked to stay at. So Mirla wasn't really pleased with the way that the place looked. It was not her dream honeymoon suite. It wasn't that. And I would agree, you know, not even honeymoon suite, just vacation in general. That does not look like the kind of place that I would want to stay at. When I go to the beach, I do want to hear the ocean, you know, so I don't fault her for, you know, seeing a little itty bitty baby pool and, you know, not hearing anything. But, you know, maybe when the sun comes up, things will be a little bit different. But she asked him, does he think that she's high maintenance? And he says yes, but she, of course, doesn't think that she is. So that's all we really got for Girla today. We can go ahead and go on to Zakayla. Yeah, that's their name, right? I forget sometimes. So when he sits down with, oh wait, no. This is when they were in the bed. They were talking about what their favorite parts of the day, of the wedding day was. And she said that her favorite part was seeing him. And, you know, he's just giving her a whole lot of compliments. We already know Zakayla has a whole lot of chemistry. A whole lot of chemistry. And that can be a really good thing or it can be a really bad thing. And we'll see. So when they're getting ready. And then the side note, yeah, I know it's all over the place. That's why it's called Scattered Brilliancy. I didn't like the fact that last week they showed us the couples getting in the bed to come to this week, and we done backed it up to now like they're just getting in the suite and they taking their time. I mean, I guess they were trying to cram a bunch of stuff into last week's episode. It's almost as if they didn't have enough content for last week, so they just sped on to the honeymoon. But when this episode started, I was like, we already saw them take dresses off and all of that, so why are we watching it again? So we saw some stuff that we saw last week again with, you know, a little bit added. So that kind of irritated me a little bit. But Michaela came out in her pajamas, and Zach was like, ooh, he was oogling them goodies. He was like, ooh, I didn't see that up under that dress. turn around. Let me see what you're working with. And she was like, ooh, yeah, look at me. So, you know, of course they like what they see. I mean, we already know they're gonna bone. But they spoon, and you know, she is convinced that she won the lottery. And at one point she had a booger in her nose. And that's the only thing about being on TV. I feel like if I was ever on TV, I would just be making sure that I never had a booger in my nose. Because I don't ever want the camera to be panning up and you see a booger. But she had a booger in her nose at one of those. She had a booger in her nose in one of the shots. But it's all right. We all got boogers. They talk about being jealous and possessive and all that. Well, they're moving on. So the next morning, he meets with her sisters. I feel like I'm going to get really silly by the end of this video. And I'm going to try to keep it together. He meets with her sisters. And he says that Michaela has exceeded his expectations, which is just wonderful. As far as advice, they say match her passion. Match her passion. She's passionate. Be her protector. Since her father was killed, the sisters have always kind of, you know, been her protection because she's the youngest of all of them. So they just want him to take over that role. And, you know, stand by your words. She meets with his family, and it's a bunch of them. It's a whole bunch of them. But they just want, she says that he's very gentle, honest, and attentive because the dad asks Michaela, what have you noticed about Zach? But they tell her that he's amazing with children. One thing that we did find out, which I thought was really nice, is given that her father had passed away at one point in the reception. You know, there's usually the mother-son, father-daughter dance, and of course she didn't have that opportunity, so Zach's dad danced with her, not necessarily for that, but just at some point in the night. And we've seen that before in other seasons where the spouse's parent will step in and dance with the other person, you know, just to kind of make up for whomever is not there. So that was really nice to see. And she got emotional at the table, you know, just discussing everything related to that. But Michaela had told them that she fights respectfully because she saw how her parents fought and she was like, I don't like the way they fight, so I'm gonna do it differently. So she says she fights respectively. She doesn't do the shouting, banging, throwing stuff. She wants to have healthy arguments. And we were watching that like, but Michaela, we saw the preview. That ain't what they showed us in the preview. That didn't look like that was gonna be a healthy argument. That looked volatile. Stuff was breaking. Doors were slamming. You was shouting. Zach was driving off. That didn't look healthy to me. But you know, we got to take our time to get to that. We ain't there yet, so we're going to, you know, we want to have healthy arguments. So, okay, all right, we're going to stick with the healthy arguments thing. So they meet up after breakfast. They, you know, discuss, oh, what y'all talk about? Everybody did it. Nothing there. And then she said that she's going to get her weave out and get her hair braided because, you know, black women, when we go into that humidity, you know, y'all not trying to have y'all hair be all puffy and stuff. So when we going out of town, y'all got to make sure y'all get it right. All right. And the big thing for them is that they did it. Woo! They went in the cookie jar. Oh, well, Zach went in the cookie jar, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But we knew that they were going to consummate their marriage. You know, we had to put money on anybody. We were putting our money on them. So they consummated. But however, at the end of the episode, at some point early in the episode, he was talking about somebody in his close circle tested positive for coronavirus. And it's looking like Zach got the vid too. I mean, by the time the episode ends, I'm pretty sure Zach got the vid, and that's going to cause an issue because when we saw the preview for next week, it saw group shots. Michaela and Zach were not in any of those clips. So, I mean, I'm going to assume his test is going to come back positive. Moving on. Bao and Johnny. Bonnie. So somebody had got in a hotel room and gave them the 100 children, 1,000 grandchildren bed sheets. So I guess it's a cultural thing for their Vietnamese. That, and maybe it might be an Asian thing, I don't know, y'all let me know in the comments. But you know, when you want to have kids and stuff, you're supposed to sleep on these special red sheets that came straight out the package because you could still see the folds in them. And so when you sleep on these sheets, they make you real fertile. They make the egg say, come here. And they make the sperm say, we're coming. Oh, no pun intended. So they, you know, that's what it does. But Bao was like, no, she took them sheets and she threw them off the bed. She said, we ain't sleeping on these fertile sheets tonight. I don't know what's wrong with your people putting these sheets on the bed. We ain't sleeping on the fertile sheets tonight. Not tonight, okay? They remind each other. She reminds him of the last time they saw each other, and she says he ghosted her because they were, I think, going to like an art exhibit or something like that. And Johnny was just like, I'm out here in these streets trying to see what's up, and you ain't really giving me what I need, so I'm not gonna respond. But you know, that was cute to see them. I mean, I gotta say they are my favorite couple. I mean, hands down, Bonnie is my favorite couple for now. You know, we'll see how the rest of the season goes, but I like watching. I almost said love because that would have been a lie. I like watching them on my television. So he meets her friends, and you know, they tell him about her reaction to his jersey gift that he gave her before the wedding, and we get the glorious flashback of her saying, I wanted a brilliant mind. Nobel Prize. It was so dramatic. Oh gosh. So he was like, oh God, it kind of makes me feel some kind of way, like for her to have such a big reaction over something so simple. But I think at this point he probably has a good idea of who, you know, Bao is. But their advice to him is just to be a listener. And their advice to him is to be a listener. But you know, he says he checks out quickly because he's been a serial dater. He's gone on a lot of first dates, and he'll quickly find something that he doesn't like about the person, and he just chucks them the deuces and he moves on. So you know, that's going to be something that he's going to have to work on. But I think that they'll be fine. She meets with his family, and so for the Vietnamese culture, it is important to establish how you're going to refer to the elders. So she asks his mother, you know, what would you like me to call you? In Vietnamese, I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but she says mom or auntie, which I thought that was interesting, but I guess that's just a culture thing. But she calls him mom, and she likes the fact that she allows her to call her mom, and that's a big thing for her because, like I said, she wanted to be respectful. Bao asks his mother or family about his dad, and they kind of give the background about, you know, the dad moved to California when he was younger, missed some things, but she kind of makes a mental note that she's going to talk to him about that later. I'm almost convinced, that the producers came up and said, hey, y'all speaking too much in Vietnamese. We ain't got time or resources to be doing all this translating. Y'all gonna have to speak in English, okay? We're gonna give y'all subtitles a couple times, but y'all need to speak in English, okay? Because it was clear that, to me, that they wanted to speak in their native language, and they should have. I mean, they all spoke it apparently. I mean, that's me assuming, but I assume they all spoke it. But it almost seemed like they were not allowed to because they only did it when they first came in. It's like they sat down and the producer said, no, you're not gonna, no, English, you know what I mean? But I mean, I think they should speak in their native language and just put the subtitles on the screen. And if you don't know how to read, you just miss out. I mean, we want to see this diversity, so let them speak their native language, especially for these older members of his family. They was like, we ain't got time to be speaking English. But one of them talked about they want some grandchildren. And, you know, they say, hopefully, Johnny can be Mr. Mom at home. And Bao immediately was like, no, he's not going to be no Mr. Mom at home. He's going to be working. He's not staying at home. And I'm going to be out here making bucks. So after breakfast, you know, they meet up. They talk about the dad. And one nice thing that Bao said was that she was willing to do whatever she could to help. You know, to help bring the father around. Because, of course, you know, he was not supportive of Johnny doing this. But she's, you know, gonna be there by his side to do whatever she can to make that easy, which I thought was really, really great. So when they find out where they're going on the honeymoon, they have to pack, and it's no surprise that Bao keeps Excel spreadsheets for what she's going to take places. Now, I understand being organized. I think at one point I used to write down, we write down now, Carmen doesn't, mostly write down what we need to pack, especially for the kids, like make sure you got the diaper cream, the bottle, whatever you need, you write that down. But not to the extent that we're putting it in spreadsheets and we're categorizing my tops and my bottoms and these tops goes with these bottoms. I mean, I get it. That's, I guess, a way to make sure that you don't leave anything home, but it is a bit excessive. But you know, he just laughs it off. He's gonna go with it, and hopefully he can, you know, reel her back in from all of that. Every suite had 2 rooms, and I guess maybe they had did that so that if there was a couple that might not have wanted to sleep in the same bed, they had the option to go sleep in the other room. So Bao just flat out asked him, "Why are you in this bed?" And I think she asked him that because he told her that she snores, and I guess maybe she was self-conscious of that, and she didn't want to keep him, because she said, "I don't want to keep you from your sleep." But he was like, "It's cool, you know, I want to be near you because we all know Johnny likes to touch." And then the conversation started getting weird and uncomfortable for me. So he wanted to check in on her comfortability and kind of see where she was. And he asked her, "So sexually, what are you into?" And I was just thinking like, "Oh, this is about to get real uncomfortable real fast." And she was shocked, but clearly she was turned on by the fact that he asked. But she said for her that it is on her mind. She is thinking about it. She, I think she wants Johnny. But she says they're kisses that they've had in private. And she was very intentional in saying that, meaning that what y'all are seeing and what we are seeing at home is not what we be doing when these cameras ain't around. When these cameras ain't around, we be tugging each other down, okay? When y'all ain't around, we goes in. We gets it in. And it's because of those kisses that it sends signals, because she says signals. I know what signal she's talking about, because she ain't talking about Wi-Fi. She's talking about a different kind of signal. It sends signals to let me know that you're going to be a good lover because of the way you be whipping that tongue. Okay? Her words, not mine. I just, paraphrased and added some extras. But, he says, Johnny said he liked pretty vanilla sex. Pretty vanilla sex. And at first I was kind of like, why vanilla? Why's it gotta be vanilla sex? And there's jokes I can make, but I'm not going to. But I'm just gonna harken y'all back to who were watching a few seasons ago for the Charlotte season, whoop whoop, to Elizabeth and I don't remember his name. And she was so upset with him because he just wanted to have basic Caucasian sex. So Elizabeth and Johnny would not have been a good match because Elizabeth did not like basic Caucasian sex, but Johnny likes vanilla sex, which I've never heard of that. But that's what Johnny is into. He said he don't want none of that weird stuff. You ain't about to tie me up. You're not about to stuff nothing in my mouth. I'm not putting a mask on. We're not doing no blindfolds. We're not getting no swing that hangs from the ceiling. We're not getting that little pillow that puts you in the proper positions. We ain't doing none of that. And we ain't doing no butt stuff, okay? We're not doing butt stuff. That is not what it's for. Don't ask me about it. Don't try to touch me down there because it's not gonna happen, okay? Got it, Johnny. No butt stuff. No butt stuff. Okay? Alright, we're gonna move on to Brian. Now, I like to, for those who don't know, I like to imitate people, okay? But I gotta make sure that my imitations are not offensive. And so I noticed that Ryan has this head thing going on. Like when he's talking, and this may be over exaggerating, but like when he's talking to her, it's like, and I don't think it's like a medical thing. I ain't saying he got Parkinson's. But, he got this head thing that's just kind of like, and he's always just, I'm just right here with it. Like, I'm Ryan. I'm not really enthused. Like, you're not making me smile much. I'm probably sweating somewhere. And, hey, it is what it is. Okay. So she wore the shoes that he bought her some shoes. That was the pre-wedding gift that he gave her in case she wanted to run. But she wore the shoes at some point or another. We see him taking off her dress. She says start the zipper, don't complete it because she don't want him to see her butt crack. Okay, cool. She's feeling anxiety about being in her pajamas around him because she hasn't been intimate with anybody for 2 years. I gotta get it together so I can finish this review. So he meets with her parents and it was real dry. It was stale bread dry. It was rice cake dry. Okay, because he was, here the whole time, just, okay, oh, all right. And the parents was just, you know, trying to talk to him, and Ryan was just, again, we reiterate that he don't like redheads, and that there's no in between when it comes to red. You know, you either get it right or you don't. You know. And you have any questions for us? I have no questions. I don't really. I'm just gonna kind of, you know, see what happens. We should ride the thing on out. It was so awkward. Brett meets with his mom and friends. And I guess, I don't know who she was. She said Ryan usually dates props, like girls who are pretty, but you know, they're just nothing there. They're just a prop. They're just nice to look at. You know, it's no substance maybe, but because you know, we found out that Brett is not Ryan's type. Them having boy names really makes it hard for me. But Brett just says that she wants to be authentic, and he's an introvert, and he'll have to probably be pulled out of that introvertedness, but she's not used to doing that. But clearly you're gonna have to, because Ryan's here. Okay, so Brett gonna have to do something. After breakfast, they talk about her fear of flying, and clearly something happened on the plane that really just had Ryan like, ma'am, you need to get it together. Like, it was a lot. Like, you made a child cry. Like, you know, if I wasn't married to you, I probably would never want to travel with you again. But, you know, she said that him just being there helped her out. So, good for them. And now the couple that kept me entertained the most. That would be Rose. Rachel and Jose. Now, I'm almost there. Jose has a mouth thing when he talks. It's like, you know, it's this. I'm really excited, you know. I can't believe it. You know, my mouth is really like wide, and my hands are here. You know, what do you mean? Like, I'm Jose, short Jose. This is who I am. It is what it is. I'm right here. Okay, so that's short Jose for you. Okay, that's where we're at. So he decided that he was gonna wear his bow tie to bed. And I think Rachel had made a comment about what his body might look like, and he was like, I might have a little something under here. A little something. I mean, you know, Jose loves him some Jose. I told y'all that. Jose loves Jose. So any moment that somebody can, you know, pump up his head, he's going to take it. They do some funk breath morning kisses, you know, to each his own. While they're laying in bed, she says that he's perfect, and Jose was like, you noticed. Jose said, oh, you saw that? You saw that I'm perfect? You saw that? Okay, we're almost done. All right, I'm sorry. All right, meetings. He meets with her mom. And we find out that, her mom. Oh, yeah. He holds himself to a high standard. We know this. He's very structured. You know, everything is in order. You know, he's high standard. You know, I bought 2 houses. You know, I paid off my debt. You know, I got 5 cars. You know, I'm Jose. Okay. But he feels like the experts couldn't have selected a better woman. And he just goes on and on about her. You know, and he's feeling good. He's feeling good. And then mom drops the bomb. Mom says, well, at home, she's a little messy. Jose said, oh. Jose went flaccid, okay? Flaccid, cotton ball soft, okay? Turn the lights off. It's over. Okay, it's done. We're done. He was like, she's messy. That is not what Jose wanted to hear. And then they said her car is messy too, and Jose was probably like shriveled up at that point, okay? Shriveled, because he was just like, this is not what maybe I can help her with that. They give him some tips about mental notes and stuff like that. She meets with his family, and they let her know that he's big on time. No surprise. and that he likes a high level of structure. We got that. They talk about it after breakfast, whatever, we're moving on. So one thing that Rachel says is that she's learned not to hold everything in, and so that's something that she's still working on. She's not a super saver. She's very much like YOLO, and it's like he couldn't shrink no more. Jose was just like, something else, like, we gonna work on that. Earlier he said, oh my God, I forgot to tell y'all that. I don't know why he said it like that, but he said that in the room. He was like, oh my God, but okay. Yeah, she says that she's not a super saver, and that he has to quench his thirst and re-wet his throat, because he had already went down. He had already gotten soft. He had already shriveled up. And that was like the icing on the cake. He was dry completely. And he had to take him a sip of water, because he just could not take the fact that she said she wasn't a super saver. She was like, YOLO, if I want to buy something, I'm going to go buy it. And Jose was just like, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. And so to the most weirdest part of this entire episode was when Rose was in the bathroom getting ready for bed, and they were brushing their teeth. And there's just some things we don't need to see at home, and that is one of them. Jose brushing his teeth made me so uncomfortable, because he looked like he was having a full-on sexual experience, because he was like, his eyes were closed. I don't think I ever closed my eyes when I brushed my teeth, and he throwing his head back, and he was, I'm not going to do the motion with my hand. I'm just not going to do that. So y'all going to have to imagine that that's what I'm doing. But and then he asked her, can I brush your teeth? And I don't know if that's something he was getting off on, or if he was like, when I kissed you this morning, you don't seem to have good oral hygiene. And I just want to make sure I get the areas that it doesn't. I'm sorry. When I kissed you this morning, it didn't seem like you had good oral hygiene. So I wanted to do it for you, because, my camera is, my battery probably about to die again, but let me go ahead and get up off here. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this crazy episode. I mean, it wasn't crazy, but I mean, we had to find something to laugh about. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell if you haven't already. Donate to Donors Choose if you feel like it. I appreciate y'all for watching. Who knows how this review gonna look next week, because y'all, I'm going back to work on Monday. Teacher work day start on Monday. Oh, y'all pray for me. Pray for me, okay? Well, I mean, thank y'all for watching another episode of Review for Married at First Sight, and I will see y'all next week. Peace.